Hello, beautifuls. It's Monday, and I just wanted to tap in and talk about my Discord space, right? Because I'm getting emails about women who want to join the space, and I just want you to kind of get an idea of what it is um, going to be, right? So it will be a space for all black women, right? Whether I know we got some harsh divestors over here who don't want to talk to black women that don't divest, right? And although I do think that divesting is a part of croning, right? It's kind of one of the first steps, right? Because that's for me, divesting is about self-preservation, right? And we just cannot survive in Blackistan. So you must divest from Blackistan, right? And black women think that divesting is only about dating, right? So as soon as a black woman mentions that she date apes, it's kind of off with her head, right? So I want everybody to know that all of the black women that are heading over to the space, they are croning black women, right? So they're working on becoming crones, right? And that means that they are divesting black women. I hope that black women coming to join this space, right, have sense enough to not be in fucking private spaces with apes. But in the event that she is, we're not treating her harshly, right? Especially if she has shared that space, and especially if she has shared that in our intimate space. We're not going to be trashing black women over here, right? For any reason, if some of that, um if she's not completely divested, or she's not, completely on your standard, right, of what divesting is, right, and she's come to seek this space, she knows the expectation is that she does, right? And divesting for me took a little while, right? It was not something I just woke up and just decided to do. And it was done, right? I just now told you ladies like a couple months ago, like I had to really sit and reassess my relationship with my brother, right? Um, so I have seen some off with her head, as soon as a black woman may mention that she may still be interacting with her family members, and in this time, the family member was a lot sketchy, but black women who are not completely and totally divested, right, are still invited into this space because she would take the place of a maiden, even if she's not technically a maiden, right? She's a maiden in her knowledge, right? She may be trying to figure it out, right? And this is a space for black women who are trying to figure out, like what the fuck is going on? Like, why do I exist like this? And why is it so hard for me to find a life worthwhile? Anyhow, so for those black women, we're not gonna be harsh to them in my space, right? This is not a space to come and dox people, you fucking weirdos. Like, I don't know why y'all do that. But I don't really have that many. I don't really entertain any. Not I don't even entertain. My page, my YouTube channel is so small that nobody even knows I'm over here to like have any beefs with me. So I don't have any beefs with any other content creators. Like for somebody to come into my Discord and try to dox the space. So I don't know why you would come and do that, you fucking weirdo. But I am screening the ladies who are coming into the space, right? Because I do want it to be extremely safe and confidential, but I also want it to be sacred, right? So I don't want the things that we share in this space to be shared in other spaces, right? And I want to create a true community of black women, which is why I don't want it to be that large, right? I don't want it to be a whole, 200 black women just in there not really, talking to each other, not really getting to know each other, not really building a connection and building a sisterhood, right? Um, I wanted to be made in, split up into, I guess, sex, like you represent your sex. It's like, no. But I do want it to be split up in maidens, mothers, and crones, right? And I do want that space to be, um, to be, I do want the maidens to interact with the maidens, and then the mothers to, shoot the shit with and to shoot the shit with the mothers, and then, the crones to just, sit high and look low. It's like, no. Not the crones sitting high and looking low, but, I also want us all to intermingle with each other, right? I want us to work on, and the last Clubhouse room, I realized something thanks to the crone who was in my space on Clubhouse, and I'm so grateful for her presence. But she had pointed out what I thought was the sons had, helped black women wage war against their own sisters, but that was not true. The mother of sons waged war on her daughters, right? And I want us to begin to fix that, right? I want us to and I guess in my subconscious mind I had to be coming to this revelation because my YouTube channel and my, blog is called Ocean of Daughters. The thought was, a crowning black woman in a literal ocean of daughters that she has helped to understand their place in this realm, which is the high priestess. No, it is though. It is the high priestess. It is the goddess. It is the goddess of many names and the goddess of many different things. And I just wanted black women to I thought that as I was, on YouTube, scouring the YouTube, I thought that it was not a specific channel that was focused on the esoterics of what's happening as it happens, and also what happened before now that has gotten us here, and also what we need to do moving forward, right? And that's why I made this space. So I do want us to focus on that. I do want us to focus on what black women, what croning black women do moving forward, right? I don't want it to just be us, shooting the shit and just, which we will shoot the shit, right? And we will talk, and we are women. There will be some gossip, right? But I don't just want us to just focus on that. I want us to try to figure out what would be best for black women moving forward. And I do have some ideas that, I would share in that private space, but I also want black women to come with their own ideas, right? And their own opinions of, I want, what I really want, really, I want for it to be well-rounded. I want the maidens to have their say, and the crones to have their say, and the mothers to have their say, and for us to create something beautiful, right? Together. And something that will, at least, okay, I won't get on into that, but I do want it to be a way that we can build some kind of truly start to build some kind of build. I won't say some kind of. I'll build for the daughters, right? To build for the black women that are coming up after us, and for the crones to build for the crones to, build and aid the mothers in building something for the maidens that are coming up every day, right? And we'll talk about, that on a more personal level, your ideas and, what's your gifts and what you can bring to the table, right? But that's what I want this space to be. And I want it to be although I don't want it to be a lot of women, I want it to be vast and wide on the type of woman, right? I don't just want um it to be one kind of woman, one kind of black woman in this space, right? I want it to be safe for all black women, right? I want it to be safe for women like me who may have grew up in a Blackistani city and kind of gotten her way out. But I also wanted to be safe for the black girl who still is in the Blackistani city and has not figured out her way out. And for women like me to aid her in getting the fuck out, right? And then I wanted to be safe for, eccentric black girls like those, that like the anime. The anime black girls. I wanted to be safe for them because there's not been a very safe space. Blackistan has not been a very safe space for those black women, right? And then I wanted to be, a safe space for those black women who, grew up maybe on the other side and felt like she did not fit in with black girls who were a bit more urban, right? I want us to all be inviting and to be to allow spaces for all of us to exist, right? And all of us to be validated and affirmed, right? And I want it to be a space for us to be vulnerable, right? And I know in order for me to have that kind of vulnerability, right, which is why I'm, kind of transparent on my, as transparent as, as transparent as the apes can allow me to be, right? Well, not they don't allow shit, but they fucking apes, and I don't want to be identified by them, but I wanted to be transparent and in a way that allows other black women to be transparent, because that is how we began to heal. I have to tell you the truth about my pain and the truth about the things that my experiences and how I live through them, right, and persevere through them, so that you can kind of, use the ways that I persevered to persevere yourself, right? So as I said, I have been making, I reached out to some ladies today, but I have been making a Crohn's Creed, right? And these are some of the ways that Crohn's exist. And then I've also been making a standard for Crohn's to live up to in this space. And then I've been making guidelines, right, and rules to keep us all safe in this space, right? And then I will do individual, not necessarily interviews, but individual conversations with black women as they come into this space. So you have to be a little like, I'm not trying to figure out your whole life, but you have to be a little bit open, right, to sharing some personal things about yourself. And I would not ask black women coming into my space to share anything more than what I'm willing to share, right? But I think that I would like this to be a really small, intimate community of black women who are able to really get some work done on the behalf of black women, right? So, as you are sending me emails and I'm not answering them, in case you were wondering what was going on, that was what was going on, right? The Clubhouse room that I had the other day, it was it truly had me begin to think about the healing that has to be done between mothers and daughters in Blackistan. And you may not be able to seek any healing, as a maiden who may have been, stolen from, right? Because with these women in ancient times, they stole their daughters' birthrights, right? And I remember as I was phasing out of Blackistan and I was talking to an ape for what? I don't know. maybe I was trying to reconcile, deep down on the inside, right? I may have been trying to reconcile with this 8 years ago. And he was Kevin Samuelsing me, right? And he was asking me what my expectation was. And then he asked me, why did I deserve it? And I remember my immediate thought was, because it's my birthright. And I yelled it to him. I said, because it's my birthright, right? like these things are things that's owed to me from birth. And this is what the fuck I want, right? And that was my answer, right? And now looking back on it, I realized what I was saying. Like, these are things that were stolen from me from Blackistan, right? And these are the things that I want to fuck back, right? And Black women came into this realm with a bunch of birthrights that we did not get because our mothers did not give them to us. I wasn't in a personal place. It was a wide open room. I was in a KSC room, and it was a lady that was on her stage. And I can't remember her name, but she mentioned how life had been so hard to her, right? And she said it out of her own mouth. She said, because my mother did not prepare me for it. And at that moment, I realized just how obsolete males are, right? In Blackistan, we do this thing of saying that the fathers are more than they are, and they're really nothing when it comes to daughters. And I'm not talking about, and I'm talking about for Black women only, because we exist very different in this realm than other women, right? We come from originally, we come from a bloodline of only women, right? We've come from a bloodline of only women where there was no males, right? Which is why we're able to survive in the way that we have. Which is why we're able to survive in a race of no males, because we have done this before, right? We have lived a race of no men, right? It's males over here. But why we are able to survive in a race of no men, and it's because we've done it before, and we can do it again, and we have done it, and we do it, and we will always be able to do it. And I realize, like, this pumping up of Black males that constantly happens is fucking trash. Even all the way down to the fathers. Like, this girl was on stage weeping, and she was crying, and she said right out of her mouth, because her spirit, her soul knew it. She said, my mother did not prepare me for the world that I was about to live in, right? And I felt like that when I made this platform. I felt like that as I made Ocean of Daughters. I felt like the mothers were not preparing the daughters for the world that they were going to live in. And I made sure to prepare my daughter, right? My dark-skinned Black daughter, for the world that she was about to live in. And it was only my job. I remember my mother saying to me, as I wept and I cried and I went on and on about what my daughter's father did not do. And really, I only needed him to do one thing. When all the work was done, and I had to sit down and deal with what was left over, all that was left over was monetary issues. Had he been able to financially take care of us, right? And he did not have to be there, but if he sent me the proper amount of money, right, to make it easier for me to raise his daughter, right? That was the only thing. And rearing my daughter, that after all the work was done, that was where my problem was. My problem was in the $50,000 in debt I was left in, right? The $50,000 that had ballooned to $80,000, right? $80,000 in debt, and that was all that was left, and that was his fucking job. Now, that was his job, right? But when I cried about him not being there and me having to be a mother, my mother looked me right in my face and she said to me, she said, Preem, whether he be here or not, you still have to raise your daughter. Whether he be here or not, you still have to mother your daughter. And I took that with me. I kept that with me. Whether he be here or not, I still had to mother her and mother her well. And I did. And I did, right? And I did it alone. And I ain't had no fucking done, because I don't, I don't know what the fuck black women doing with guns. I told black women what to do with their fucking guns, right? But in raising a daughter, right, I got it done, and I got it done on my own. And when it was all done, when it was all said and done, right, what I had left in shambles were my finances, right? And I did not, this thing that black women do when they exalt men, I did not do that for my daughter. So I don't see her out in life looking for validation from males. Right? That hot girl summer, right? My daughter, she lives it. Right? I don't see her seeking validation from males because I never put that in her. I didn't date when she was young. I did not give a fuck about, no, I was trying to raise her, right? I didn't give a fuck about them niggas when I was, besides falling short in my flesh. Right? Besides falling short in my flesh, right? I did not need a boyfriend around, as I raised her, and I did not have one, right? Now, in the wee hours of the night, I was a grown lady, but when I was rearing my daughter, I just did not do that. And the one regret I have in rearing her, is when I started to date when she was 15 or 16 years old, and I ended up with the boyfriend, and I apologized to her for that to this day. I think I may apologize a couple weeks ago because I thought about it, and it was the most irresponsible decision I made in my life to start dating while I was still raising her. The nigga was of no use, but, well, at least he had sense enough to bring some finances to the situation, right? But I just realized that this lack, right, that black women are experiencing, I don't think that it's coming. I think that we have all been lied to, right? We think that it's coming from males, right? That we want males around, but I think it is in the fact that your mother did not prepare you. And I think that if black women sat down and sat with it enough, right, and got rid of the male identified way in which we're raised, right? And we do exist as goddesses in compared to other women, right? And compared to other women who were born into patriarchal lines. That's not our story. So it should be no exalting of males over here. None. There should be no exalting of males in black womanhood. And I really do think that black women with sons got something stuck in their head that they can't get around it. Like, I really do. I think that there's something in their minds that they just cannot, like, their sons put something in their brain. And I know that that's a fact. It's a documented fact that sons change their mother's brains, right? They like, their sons put something in their brain to have them not think right. Like, listen, there was never any reason to exalt any fucking males like this. There was never any reason to exalt no fucking males like this. And if we really looked at our mothering of our daughters, I'm telling you, the males, now that I am here and the work is done and I'm able to see the work that I have done, okay, in this realm, I'm realizing just how obsolete he really was. And I know that it sounds crazy that I'm saying that the male was obsolete, but think of the fact that black women were here for thousands of years with no males. They was having daughters and daughters and daughters with no males. With no males around. So there is a possibility that black women can say and can exist in a way where males are obsolete. I mean, they can be... They can be of some pleasure if we like, right? If we so decide to, and that's in the Crohn's Creed. That's her decision. That's her decision, whether she wants to be with a male in any kind of way. That's her decision. But not something that she needs. It's not even something that she needs in raising her daughters. That thing where, oh, black women are just looking for a father's love, it's a crock of shit. It's a crock of shit. It's not true. It's not true. It's something that they put in your head, baby girl. That is not true. That is not true. You're not seeking your father's love, okay? You're seeking the fact that your mother did not prepare you for this realm, okay? That your mother did not prepare you for this realm. That she stole your birthrights, right? And it sounds like I'm letting black males off the hook in raising their children. And I'm not saying that they're off the hook, but I'm saying that they're obsolete. Like, who the fuck cares? Like, we don't have to cry and weep and go on and on and on forever about the fact that these niggas be out of here. Especially if we got daughters. And if we got sons, then we take that fucking son to his fucking father. I don't want them. Like, why y'all see it say y'all don't want these fucking sons? Like, that's the real problem. The real problem, y'all scared to say y'all don't want these fucking sons. That's it. I don't want him. I'm taking him to his fucking father or his fucking grandmother, who's a fucking mother of sons any fucking way. Leave that little boy with his grandmother, who like raising sons anyway. Raise the fucking son to fucking war with you. So, I really just came to talk about my Discord, right? And to kind of give you an idea of what was going to be going on over there. It's not going to be no fucking male bashing. It's just going to be realizing the fact that males are obsolete. And if we are going to have them in our presence, they are going to be of service, right? Right? And black males are always going to be fighting tooth and nail to not be in service of black women. So just stop wasting your time there, sis. Just, you know. But we're not gonna be harsh to you. If you're still trying to talk to them apes, sis, we're not gonna be that harsh to you. Sometimes I might get a little fed up. Like, listen, them niggas ain't gonna be it. And please, for whatever you do not have niggas listening in on the things that black women are saying in this space. I mean, that's gonna be a curse against you. I mean that shit. That's something that really, 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 really bothers me. Black women letting males into black women's spaces. I don't care if it's your son. I don't care. I don't care if he's 3 years old. When we talking, when the black women are talking, right? When we are having community, he needs to be asleep, right? He needs to be in another room. I don't care if he's only fucking 3. His fucking ears work. His fucking ears work and his memory, more importantly, is working, right? So, yeah, I think that's the cardinal rule. Do not have no fucking males in this space. None. But I think that's it. I think I'm going to post this. I don't know if I mentioned it is Monday, but it is Monday. I hope y'all had a good one. A good Monday. And I hope this video comes up today, sometime. For those of you who have sent me emails and you're like, what the fuck is going on? She's taking forever. I'm coming. I'm getting around to it. I'm really trying to, make a space that's, truly for black women to have community and to really begin to build something beautiful with each other, right? So again, if you wanted to be in this space, please send me an email and I will get back to you. I hope to have this space done by the weekend, and I hope to have this space done by the weekend. And, it'll be a book club in there. We'll be watching movies in there. That movie with Viola Davis, I'm hoping for us to all go and see it together. Not like together, but like for us to set a weekend, for us to spend some time to go see it, and then, for us all to talk about it. Maybe, we'll talk, we'll talk about that later. It's not happening until September. But anyway, for us to do those kind of things together and start talking about the ways in which, we should be moving forward as Black women. I think that's all. That's my updates for this Discord. Love you, ladies. I hope your Monday was well. I hope your weekend was good. If you have not and you want to get a chance, you can go back and listen to that Clubhouse room. That Clubhouse room was very, very very eye-opening for me. It was only me and Chris talking. Why y'all be so scared? Never mind. I was about to ask y'all why y'all be so scared to talk on Clubhouse, but I just remembered why. If you was on Clubhouse, I was just remembered why you be scared to talk on Clubhouse. But if I'm leading, it technically, right? And I do feel responsible for the women that are in this space, right? And if I'm leading the space, it's something different. If I guess, let's just, Kay is a goddess in her own right? As am I, right? But she's a goddess in her own right. And, as she called me, we had already talked about this in my room, and, as she called me to her court, right? At first I was busy, and I was just like, I'm just not going to entertain it. Then I started to hear, everybody talking about it, and I'm just like, whoa, because there was something being spun that was not true, right? Even though I do know that, Kay and some of the ladies over there got some duns, and I'm not discounting the things that I said about duns because it's them. I'm just saying it was not specifically targeting them. It's just the fact that, mothers of thuns, they be a little off. It's nothing more I could say. If you're a Black woman and you got a thun, I know you got to do some work to fucking disconnect from that fucking thun of yours. But, I'm not saying that it's not possible. I'm not saying that Black women with thuns not invited into my space. But the point I'm trying to make is, I would have felt a different way if Almaz called someone else up into that kind of court, right? Me and Cree had mentioned that it was like what was it? We said that it's like, a court, and Black women Black women have the right to, be a judge, right? And when I was called into the Queen's Court, right, I was grateful that it was me instead of someone else that may have been on my stage, because as the not the leader, but as the woman who started Ocean of Daughters and who made the room, I was grateful that it was me that was, spoken about, and that it was my words that were spoken about, and not someone else that may have been on my stage, and then to be, and I'm not saying that, I know that Almaz is here and she listens, but I'm not saying that that I was called out. But what I am saying is that if it was a calling out, I'm happy that it was me and not someone else that is in my space, because I do feel very protective of the ladies in my space, just like Almaz felt very protective of Kay, as she should. That's her, not necessarily that's her crone, but that's her crone, right? It's the same way that I felt when I, felt like Cree was being attacked. I felt the way about it. I took it in my body, and I was just like, no, I'm not gonna have it, right? So that's her OG, and when I say OG, I mean original goddess, right? That's her OG. And if one of my OGs was called, and not literal OG, but like original goddesses was called up, like somebody had messaged me about, someone trashing, I probably wouldn't have been that confrontational. I probably just would have told her, like, you know, I don't know how I would have dealt with the situation, but what I am saying is that Almace did not deal with it in a horribly bad way. I'm just grateful it was not another person in my on my stage who was called out, because I think that because my work is genuine, and I have done my work in a way that is already showcased in a revering way. Not that I have to agree necessarily with everything that somebody says just because they are a crone, right? I can disagree with something that a crone says respectfully. Respectfully, I can disagree, right? And I can also think that that crone logic, not necessarily Kay, but any crone that's already been here, or woman that's older than me, I can think that her thoughts are not fine tuned, and not only that, a maiden can think that about me and be correct about it, right? Because someone that's younger, just because someone is younger than you does not mean they don't know shit, right? It don't mean that just because somebody's younger, it does not mean that they don't know shit or they can't teach you anything. That's not a good book. The good book that was stolen from black women originally says from the mouths of babes, right? I think that was in the Bible. I don't know where the fuck it was, but sometimes, we have to listen to someone that may be younger than us and that may be a little bit more knowledgeable than us. And I think that is the original problem between black women, whereas I thought it was black women, fighting amongst each other as sisters, but I think a lot of things was happening in this time. So I think that the mothers were fighting each other, right? The mother of Duns and the mothers were fighting each other, right? The black women who wanted to only pass down their mystery and their knowledge down to their daughters, even though they may have had daughters and sons, right? And then there was black women who wanted to pass down their knowledge to their fucking sons, and they did, and that's why the fuck we are where we at today. But also, it was the reason why the mothers passed down their knowledge to their sons, and it was because they did not want their daughters to supersede them. They did not want their daughters to go beyond them, right? They wanted to be right all the time, and for their daughters' own knowledge to not grow in the way that it could. And I think that we do a disservice to younger black women and not cultivating that for her. And in being a mother of a daughter, right? And which I have done that, right? I have noticed the ways that my daughter is going to be a goddess in her own right. Right? I have seen the ways that she is going to eventually supersede me. And, it ain't happened yet. And I remind her, not yet. I let her know, like, not yet, baby. You're still a baby now. But, I know that eventually one day, her knowledge, mostly because, and I mean, I guess I could feel okay in the fact that I did that work. The things that my mother did not do with me, I did with her. So it makes life easier for her to maneuver, right? She gets to live life better than me because I have prepared her for it. Right? So she goes out into the world, unlike me, right? Who had an imaginary father wound, right? I just now said these fathers ain't all they cracked up to be, right? Who had an imaginary father wound, right? Because the society had taught me that these niggas was worth more than they are. And that's my own father. Right? So I went into the world with an imaginary father wound. I didn't let my daughter go into the world with no fucking imaginary father wound. She's whole and complete with what I have given her. She's whole and complete with what I have given her. And I know that is a fact because millennia ago, our foremothers did it alone. There were no men around. So there were no men. It was only women, and they were only having daughters, and none of those daughters had any father wound, right? So because it was me and there was no males around but me and my, it was just me and my daughter, there were no males. she does not have a fucking father wound, right? And I let her know that moving out into the world. So she does not go into the world feeling some kind of sense of lack like I did. And I'm not going to allow black women, maidens who are over here listening, to think they have any kind of lack because of no male being around. Unless it's poverty. Unless it was poverty. Unless she was grown up in poverty, because that nigga could have at least, I don't know. They lazy as fuck, so I don't know what these niggas can really do at this point to make sure that their daughters don't grow up in poverty. But that's all the fuck they're needed for. And if they don't, the mothers, right, like myself, will just figure out how to get it done. And I did. And now, well, not now, but as she got older, I started to have to pay some debts off because I had to survive in the physical realm. But yeah, from what I know, right, and I am a mother, right? But I have, OGs as well, right? Original goddesses who offer me wise counsel as well. I think they pump these males up more than they should have. And now we got a mess. Now we got girls out here thinking that they are incomplete without a male. Right? They incomplete because their fathers left. Even though they know in their spirit, they know in their soul that it's their mother that did not prepare them. They're saying it, right? And the mothers want to be angry about it because they're like, well, I gave you everything I could. Your father wasn't around. That was really what I wanted to do with my daughter. Sorry. And that was really what I wanted to do with my daughter. And my mother let me know, you're not going to do that. Whether he be here or not, you're going to raise your own daughter. As I started to cry about how I was a single mom and so on and so on, my mother looked me right in my face and said, whether he be here or not, you have to raise your daughter. And guess what the fuck I did? I raised her. So anyway, I think I'm going to wrap up now. I love you ladies. I hope you're well. As I said, if you wanted to be in my Discord, please send me an email at oceanofdaughters@gmail.com. I hope to have that Discord up and running by this weekend. So, well, I hope to use the weekend to speak to the ladies who have sent me emails, right? And then to add them as I speak to them this weekend. So not only should you be sending me an email, but you should be expecting a call from me. So like download text now, because I'm telling y'all that's not my real number. I'm calling from. I'm telling, look, I told you I'm not gonna expect anything more from you than I'm willing to give, right? So download text now, or that Google phone number, or some kind of calling app, right, on your phones this weekend, so we can exchange the numbers and we can chop it up for just a little while. Y'all gotta stop being so scary to speak. Okay, and I'm making a safer space for you to be able to speak, right? Especially you meanings, because I know that you are over here with your, scary asses. I'm gonna say it, but y'all gotta be willing to talk. Y'all gotta be willing to speak. Okay, y'all go and listen to that damn song I played by Janae Aiko, whatever the fuck. It's called Speak, and when you wake up in the morning time, play that song. Shit. Don't be afraid to speak, right? And I know for maidens it's hard because, and even millennials, because we've been silent so much, right? But we're not going to be silent anymore, ladies. We're going to speak. We're going to say our piece, right? We're not going to let these niggas tell our stories and tell us we all got father wounds. No, bitch, I don't have no father wound. I'm a black woman. Why the fuck would I have a father wound? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, I'm a black woman. You know that, right? There was no father. like at one time, there was no fathers. Okay? So, I don't have no fucking father wound, you fucking weirdo. And had you not convinced my mother of that, I probably would have fared better. Right? I have no interest in men like that. Like, my life does not revolve around a man. That's for the lesser women. That's not for us. I don't even know how the fuck we got so wrapped up in it. That's truly for the lesser women. That's not for the goddesses. Are y'all crazy? Anyhow, I love you, ladies. I will talk to you all later. You know, I might be having a clubhouse room again. But, yeah, I will be having a clubhouse room again. I am not, you know. My intent when I came here was to actually fucking do some throat chakra healing, okay? So, yeah, I'm gonna speak. I'm not gonna be nasty to other women. Like, that's not my intent. As I said, you know, everybody is bringing their own individual experiences in life and their own individual. I know I said I was leaving, but I'm leaving like in 2 minutes because I gotta run out the door. But anyway, they're bringing their own individual experiences in life. They're bringing their own gifts. And had they did this right 15 years ago, right, the original BWE content creators or you know, women that was in the original BWE space, and you know, as I said, you know, 10 years ago, my daughter was 10, shit, I was working, okay, hard, trying to get up out of Blackistan, so I was not there, as I said. But I have heard Kay talking about, you know, how it was different fashions of BWE, you know, content creators and women that was, you know, doing the work. And what they should have done is they should have all worked together, right? They should have all brought their gifts to the table, put them on the table. This is what I got for black women, and this is what I got for black women, and this is what I got for black women, and now we put it all together, and now we really got something for black women. And in my space, I'm hoping that that's what we can do. We can all just, you know, bring our talents and put them on the table and be like, listen, this is what I got. This is my area of expertise. This is what I studied. This is what I do for work. This is what I wish to do. You know, if I had it, you know, this is what I wish to do. And, you know, let us all bring our resources and our intelligence and our brilliance all and our expertise all to the table and see what we can truly build for black women. Okay. And I think that's how we're gonna work it, right? And everybody's gonna respect what everybody else brings to the table, right? Because everything is needed, right? Everybody, right? The crones, you know, who over there like, listen, like, we not fucking none of these meals. And then the mothers that's like, hold up, now not none of them. Like, wait a minute, now not none of them. And then those women, they branch off and then nobody can get any work done. Like, we're not gonna do it like that. Like, both women can be right and both women can have the life that they want to have. And the you know, as her area of expertise is acknowledged, she can share it with the women who want to live in that kind of way, right? So that's how we're gonna do it over here. So I'm really going now. Send your emails to oceanofdaughters@gmail.com. Love you, ladies. I hope you have a good Monday night and a good week. I'll probably check in this weekend sometime, because I am going to be doing Ocean of Daughters work all weekend long. I have dedicated my weekend to Ocean of Daughters. So I'm going to be blogging. I'm going to be sharing Erica's blog. Y'all probably can tell me I'm from when I be like, Erica, y'all need to mind your business. y'all need to mind your business. But anyway, I'm going to share Erica's blog, and I'm going to also share a blog of my own. And I will be talking to you ladies personally, and I will probably have a clubhouse room, and we'll probably shoot the shit. But have a good week. Be safe. I love you, ladies. Talk to you later.